Buddy Martin and Dugan Arnett here in the swamp, where there's a story brewing that we can't get our hands around just yet, but hopefully in the next 24 hours we'll get to the bottom of this. A lot of talk today, Dugan Arnett, about what has happened to this team and whether it's true or not that two promising freshmen, including the #1 recruit in the country, had left the team yesterday and cleared out their locker. Now, there are a lot of rumors out there, folks, and we don't know the answers to this, but as we know it right now, Dugan, you were there yesterday when all the interviews took place, the players came in, a lot of questions addressed the freshman issue in terms of the competition. Right. We heard a lot of things. Just share with us, first of all, what you heard, and then we'll talk more about what we think might be going on. Let's say, for instance, Mike Pouncey said something yesterday about the freshmen.
Right. Yeah, and it was interesting. At the time they, a lot of players touched on that yesterday about the freshmen, this class coming in with a lot of swagger and some cockiness, and so a bunch of different players touched on it. Mike Pouncey said flat out that the freshmen need to come in, shut their mouths, and play, because most people in the stands don't even know who they are yet. So that was out of context, that was a little odd, that he just kind of come out and say that, but given the circumstances and the rumors kind of flying around, I mean, maybe that makes a little more sense now. At the same time, Carl Johnson came out and said that while this class is can be cocky, the defensive linemen haven't been a problem at all. So it's like you said, there's a lot of rumors going around, and it's kind of tough to get a grasp on. But we did find out a little bit today, I guess, maybe from
not much. They gave us one interview with John Brantley today. That was it, and he only said what?
He said, as far as I know, the team's together. Although he did admit, and I think this is a little interesting, he did admit that he's heard the rumors, and it sounded like, if you read between the lines, that that something's probably going on.
And the coaches are going to address it. And we do think that's the case.
Right.
We think there has been something with the young players, particularly Dominic Easley, who was from Staten Island, right, and Model Powell from California, who was the #1 guy in all the class. Right. We did hear something about that. It's interesting because I also got a good report yesterday that this was a great practice yesterday. Now, if those two guys were missing, I'm wondering how could this be a great practice? So it's so confusing. There's so many things flying around. We're trying to make sense out of this.
Right.
But now I just got a text just a moment ago from a very good member of Gator Country who always seems to know what's going on.
Right.
And he said that he heard there was a bit of a spat between them, and there has been consternation between the freshmen and the team, but supposedly Urban Meyer addressed this with the team, and supposedly it's smoothed over. Now, later today, probably maybe some of you have been watching this video, then it'll happen, but 3:15 or so, 3:30, we're going to find out if they're going to be with the team when they walk out on the practice field, if they won't run us off. So that's what's happened. Now, we do have some sound bites from yesterday regarding a lot of freshman talk, and the general feeling I thought was these seniors really respect and like this freshman class. They remember what it was like for them, but they want to say to them, not so fast, my friend. You're not going to get my starting job just yet. Do you think that's true?
Yeah, absolutely. And it seems like as these recruiting classes have gotten better and better, throughout Urban Meyer's tenure, I mean, it seems like this would be just kind of a byproduct of that. It seems like I'm sure this is going on. I'm sure this goes on to a certain extent in every program where young guys come in and they've been told for the past 4 years that they're God's gift, and when they get here to these to these big time campuses, big time programs, they run into players who who are older and have they've been that guy, they've been in that position as well. So I'm sure they butt heads a little bit, and I'm sure that despite what John Brantley said today, I'm sure there's a little bit of hazing that probably goes on at these practices.
He said there wasn't, so we don't do that. But
right.
But there is a hard camp, and I wrote a piece about which on the site right now regarding pushing those buttons. It's hot. Look at that here. It's hot. It's tough.
Absolutely.
Urban Meyer's trying to push the freshmen, so it is a very difficult camp, folks. And there always will be attrition. We are fairly certain that this has been smoothed over, and for Gator fans, we're certainly hoping that's the case. Live from the swamp, Florida Field, Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, I'm Buddy Martin. He's Dugan Arnett. We'll come back to you when we hear something. Check out GatorCountry.com.